Good year.
Happy Valentine's Day, Youth in Government. I'm Jessie Zand.
And I'm Sarab Adood, and this is Eyewitness News.
Do you have a Sackentine, Sarab?
As a matter of fact, I don't. Jessie, will you be my Sackentine?
Oh, how sweet. Well, love is in the air, Youth in Government.
You never answered my question.
Sure. I'll be your Sackentine.
Sweet.
President Obama is expected to travel to Fresno today to talk about California's drought.
The drought is the worst California has had over 100 years, and President Obama is scheduled to spend it during President's Week in Southern California.
2 new program areas were introduced into Youth in Government this year, called the Emergency Task Force of California and the International Affairs Committee.
Our in-the-field reporter, Katie, has the details on these new and exciting additions to YNG.
Delegates arriving in Sacramento yesterday were super excited to participate in the new program area, the International Affairs Commission, or IAC. Wanting to learn more about what makes this new program area special and stand out from all the other programs in YNG, we sat in on session this morning and interviewed some delegates.
The IAC is a new role group this year, and what it focuses on is addressing the different issues around the world.
And what do you think of this program area so far?
I really enjoy it so far. They've given us a lot of really cool opportunities, and we have like a gala coming up really soon, so it's really fun.
Well, that's exciting. And what makes it different from the other program areas already in YNG?
The new opportunities they're giving us, and it's really focusing on real world issues and giving us really real world experience, which is really exciting.
Thanks, Hannah. Today's IAC session consisted of committee meetings and guest speaker Katrina Robinson talking about how to effectively present your ideas in committee. Robinson works in the Capitol building for Assemblymember Mike Gott.
There's a new program area in Youth in Government this year, the California Emergency Team. They work with other program areas in the judicial and legislative branch of Youth in Government to propose emergencies and initiate debate as they occur. Let's see what they're all about.
It's a new program area, and it's the first one that's sort of an inter-program area. We have a judicial branch and a legislative branch. We're both part of the legislative branch, but we get an emergency that's given to us, and there are appellants and respondents on the 4 people who are in charge of the judicial part, and the legislative part writes a bill, and we have to get it passed, and we have to pass an initiative, and if it doesn't pass, we have to get 300 signatures like any other bill.
Being a first-year delegate, both of us actually, it's a good experience because we're getting the whole feel of the whole YNG program and all the program areas all at once, and it's kind of a little overwhelming, but it's overall really great.
We went to the law library on Thursday, and so we did some research there, and then we've been back here writing bills and looking at all of our information.
We have delegates that are going to be dealing in the Supreme Court, arguing for the case and its constitutionality. We're going to have delegates that are arguing for the same initiative on the legislature floors. We even have delegates that want to work with the Department of Finance and the Appropriations Committee within there to get us the funds for it. So in a state that has the largest youth in government program, this is the first time we're finally seeing a line to connect some of the dots.
It's a unique opportunity, and I'm very glad to be part of this program. I'm very excited to see where it can go in future years. I know this is something that should definitely be expanded on, and many delegates should have the opportunity to experience something this great.
Our sources have indicated to us that the California Emergency Team will initiate its first emergency tomorrow in the Supreme Court and the legislature. None of our sources would go on the record to tell us what the emergency is, but we will be there tomorrow as the drama unfolds. To get breaking updates, follow us at YNGTV on Twitter.
Wow, fascinating. The race for the 67th Youth Governor is heating up as the days before the final election approach. Candidates have been amping up the final leg of their campaigns.
Lead election reporter Lena met with them in our newest series, Meet the Candidates.
First up, it's Emily Vidovic from the Search Party. She got to talking with Lena. Let's take a look.
Thank you. I'm here with Emily Vidovic, one of your candidates for 67th Youth Governor. I just have a few questions to ask you about your campaign. So, what exactly is your platform? What do you plan to do if you're elected governor? What do you plan to change or do within the program?
My platform revolves around the idea that youth in government is a team, and I want to strengthen Team YNG through the 4 points of my platform: togetherness, equality, accessibility, and mobilization. The two main things I want to do for YNG, first of all, is create the sister delegation program, in which delegations from different areas and of different sizes will be paired up and have sessions at Bob's where they get to know each other and form statewide bonds. And this will hopefully get rid of the disparity between small and big delegations. The second thing I want to do is hold public speaking workshops to help delegates build their confidence. And I've actually already started implementing this at this past Bob 1. I planned and led public speaking workshops, so my platform is already in action.
Wow, that is awesome. Thank you. So, what do you believe sets you apart from the other candidates?
I believe what sets me apart is the fact that I'm running off of action. I'm not running on empty promises. I want to give you change you can believe in, and I've already started implementing my platform.
That's very cool. Okay, so next question. Why did you decide to run for youth governor?
I decided to run for youth governor because I want to make a difference in this program. I have so many ideas for how to better this program that's already so amazing. I just want to be able to empower every delegate and make them realize their full potential.
Wow, that's awesome. Okay, so funner question. What are you really passionate about outside of YNG? So you can't use YNG as your passion. Just anything that you do outside of this.
Oh wow, outside of this program, this program's my life. But outside of that, I really like to play the piano and guitar. I'm a big fan of sleeping in on the weekends, and I like protecting the environment.
Great. So, last question. If you were unable to go into politics as a career, what path do you think you would choose?
If I couldn't go into politics, honestly, I'd just spend my life traveling the world, just kind of winging it and going to different places, trying to find jobs and just seeing all the different cultures and getting the most out of life.
Thank you. This is Elena Dreisbach, and this was Emily Vidovic, your candidate for 67th Youth Governor.
Thanks, Lena. In Olympic news, USA ties with Norway with 13 medals.
Hi, we're here at the Sheraton, about to go into the VIP lunch to hear about why YNG is so important from the Board of Directors and past YNG delegates.
During the summer of 2012, I was one of 20 youth and government delegates chosen to participate in the National Judicial Competition in Chicago.
Their schools, and they walk around in high school with their delegation sweatshirts, and everybody knows who the youth and government kids are at schools, because we're so proud of this program, and we're so grateful for all the people who help us here.
Previous delegates, advisors, and other important people who make youth and government possible met over this brunch to listen to heartwarming speeches from a past youth governor and our current youth governor, Sam Leishinger.
Thanks, Trent. That's a pretty hectic bill if I say so myself. Jesse, are you a parking ticket? Because you have fine written all over you.
Thanks, Rob?
Not everyone has game like a player like me, but me and Trent took the streets of Sacramento to check out the delegate pickup lines.
Hi, I'm Sarab.
I'm Trent.
And since it's Valentine's Day, we're going to ask people what their pickup lines are.
What's your favorite pickup line?
No. I have Skittles in my mouth. Will you taste the rainbow?
If you're a McDonald's burger, you'd be a McGorgeous.
Did that hurt? Did that hurt? What do you mean? Did what hurt? Did you fall when you fell from heaven? You know? Did it hurt? Have you heard of the 2-for-1 special? And they say, I don't know. And you say, well, there's 2 of you and there's 1 of me. Now that's special.
Oh, well, to be honest.
He doesn't have one.
Girl, if you were a bell, you wouldn't need any amendments.
On a scale from 1 to America, how free are you tonight?
Are you from Little Caesars? Because you seem hot and ready.
There must be a hole in the floors of heaven. You look like you just fell. Something like that, bro.
Are you from Tennessee? Because you're the only 10 I see.
Are you from Tennessee? Because you're the only 10 I see.
Are you from Tennessee? Because you're the only 10 I see.
Because you're the only 10 I see. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Are you from Tennessee?
No, we already heard that one.
Come on. Oh, my favorite pickup line is, you had me at overthrow the government.
To share with everybody, and I really like to join new parties and
party.
Yeah.
We love to party.
Alrighty, thank you, Sir Rob and Trent, for that highly informative piece.
Valentine's Day, also known as Single Awareness Day. Don't make this Valentine's Day about being single. Make it about how truly awesome you are. So what if you're flying solo today? That doesn't mean you can't enjoy a nice meal or flowers. You have to love yourself before you can let anyone else. This is Holly Schultz, reminding you to love yourself and treat yourself this Valentine's Day.
Thank you for that, Holly. Do you know what my favorite thing about Sacramento is?
It's definitely not the broadcast room, so what is it?
The food.
Of course.
Ross got in depth with the shops on K Street to ask how they felt about YNG.
Behind me is Upper Crust Pizza, an iconic place for many delegates to eat, largely due to its close proximity to the convention center. Many delegates will stop by here for lunch or dinner and grab a slice of pizza or two. But many delegates this year have found themselves in long lines.
Hopefully like 20 minutes, I don't know. Hopefully nothing more than that, but we're hungry, so.
Between the two new program areas and the remodeling of the judicial chambers, delegates saw many changes this year at SAC.
One of the most personal changes were the new badges that the delegates got. Let's go to Ross with the story.
Badges, your pass to youth and government. In the past, delegates have become familiar with plastic cases and paper cards. This year, however, the badges have changed, and they look fancy. Positions are clearly written at the bottom of the badge, stars indicate delegation or distinction, and an easy link to the live YG website is on the back. The website is another key improvement to the program this year, as delegates can now check their schedule and other important information online.
Thank you, Ross. The dark horse in the youth governor election has to be the unaffiliated candidate, Lena Dupuis.
Our girl Alina met with Dana to find out what he's all about.
Hi, my name is Elena Dreisbach, and I'm here with Lena Dupuis, one of your 67th Youth Governor candidates. So first I wanted to ask you, what is your platform? What do you want to do if you are elected Youth Governor?
One of my biggest priorities is to sit down with the staff of the political parties program and the delegates who run it and make sure that what I want to see with that program area and what they want to see with that program area can be aligned, because one of the biggest problems in the elections process for youth governor is the fact that political party primaries are mainly just who has the bigger delegation. And that's not fair. That's not a real republic, and we need to fix that. And that's like my first thing that I'll try and do. And the second thing is I want to try and set up blogs, Facebook groups, program like sessions or something where delegates can come and talk to other delegates about their program area, about things that they've seen in their program area, things that they think are cool, things that they think don't work that well. That way they'll be able to really weed out the bad ideas and foster the good ideas, and we'll be able to get a really great program.
Okay, so which part of your campaign then sets you apart from the other candidates?
So I think one of the most obvious parts of my campaign is that I'm running unaffiliated. I am not running with a political party. I'm running solely on the basis of my own merit. I don't want to obscure who I am with a political party's platform or a political party's chairperson. It's just me and my platform. And so that's one thing that's important to me. And another one is I really want to get down to earth with the delegates. I want to spend a lot of time with the delegates because many elected officials don't spend a whole lot of time with the delegates. We see them once or twice, and they've got meetings, I will say that, but I think that they could spend a whole lot more time with the delegates.
Very nice. Okay. So, why did you decide to run?
I ended up running for Forum Sergeant at Arms. I lost in my delegation, but I learned so much just from that experience about running for office, about being a candidate, and it really changed a lot of how I view candidacy. And from that moment on, I really realized this is what I want to do with this program.
That's great. So moving on to more fun questions. What are you truly passionate about outside of Youth and Gov? So you're not allowed to use Youth and Gov as your example, just something that you do in your free time or, yeah.
It's probably the nerdiest pastime of all. I like Dungeons and Dragons. So what it is people sit around a table and the dungeon master, myself, will tell them what's happening in the adventure. And they'll have to make decisions and dice rolls based on their character sheet. And it's a real fun experience.
So our last question is, if you couldn't go into politics, what career path would you choose and why?
I would absolutely have to go with a history teacher. History is my favorite subject. I love history, like, more than anything. I just love the stories of humans. I'd like to be able to share my passion for that subject with younger children.
That's very interesting. This is Elena Dreisbach for Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Elena. Environmental protection is something that many political parties have discussed in their platform this year. Let's see how the hotels are handling an eco-friendly tomorrow.
Valentine's Day is all about red and pink, but let's talk green for a minute. Both the Sheraton and the Hyatt hotels have recycling programs. Y&G, let's see what you all have to say about recycling.
I've put things off to the side and put them in the recycle bins outside.
Yeah, we also just put things to the side if they need to be recycled.
I didn't even know we had a recycling basket in our room. Sorry.
Yeah, I do recycle, and no, I did not know that there was a recycling program at the hotel. I find it important to recycle at home, save the planet. It's always good.
I didn't know that they had a recycling program here, but yeah, I definitely do try to recycle as much as possible. All the bottles and stuff that we buy from around the area, I do try to recycle.
I haven't been recycling here because I didn't know they had a recycling program, but now that I do know, I definitely will.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of the recycling program they have here either. I usually just, like, whenever I buy the water bottles or whatever, I just have them in my room still, and they're just empty in there, so yeah.
They should definitely tell us that.
Yeah.
Have signs.
Okay, well, I always saw the recycling bins, but
I never knew there was a program for them. Well, now you know, Y&G. There are both recycling bins and recycling programs at both the Hyatt and the Sheraton. So don't hoard those plastic water bottles in your room. Recycle, Y&G. This is Haley Tanton reporting to you from Sacramento.
Thanks for that, Haley. Jesse, are you going to turn up at the governor's ball tonight?
Yeah, it should be pretty hype. What about you, Sarab?
Avi. Ross took the K-Street and talked to the delegates about the dance tonight.
The varying tastes in music make a DJ's job difficult. Throughout the years of youth in government, there have been both positive and negative opinions on the music played at the dances. This year, we're going to ask you what you want to hear at the governor's ball. What kind of music would you like to hear tonight?
I would like some Disclosure, please.
Definitely music with a rhythm, a beat, something that I can get down to, and some Avicii.
So I don't usually go to the dances, but the times that I have gone, I've really enjoyed watching all the dance-offs that go on, and I wish that I could dance like them because they all look super awesome.
I'm thinking some heavy trap, maybe some alternative, some real estate in there, just anything. I don't know.
I'd really like to hear some 2 Chainz played at Club Sac.
Something like upbeat and funky.
Well, I want to hear twerking music.
Thanks for that, Ross. What an incredible, hard-hitting story. Speaking of TU, there's a special delegate in NIC who has a unique way of presenting his proposals. Let's take a look.
There's quite the buzz in NIC about Mark Godges, resident rapper of Y&G. I had the chance to interview him and find out why he raps the arguments for his proposals.
My NIC proposal is on labeling palm oil. The whole movement I have going on within NIC are the big Lorax crew, along with some people in East Valley. I think they remember me performing. It went like, here's a little like 4-bar excerpt. It was like, palm oil plantation smoke our air, 'cause we steal the forest that is rightfully theirs, and we are suffering. Oh, is this a joke? Resources and CO2 keep going up in smoke. Yeah, something like that. And then I was like, most people don't get Dr. Zeus had a message. Put them X's up for the Loraxes, and then they were all X's up. Yeah.
And why do you rap in NIC?
Because I think there are problems that need to be solved and become known, because I think the government and like Fox News and all that stuff, they're pretty good at keeping secrets about like racism, pollution, all that stuff. So I think there's got to be rappers to say, you know what, no, you are not perfect at all.
Mark began rapping at age 11 in 5th grade. He began his rapping career talking about world issues, which he still continues to do so today. This is Haley Tangent broadcasting to you from Sacramento.
Wow, that was pretty turned up. Thanks for that, Haley. Lena Cavanaugh from the block party stood out during Bob 2 with her powerful speech at joint session. Elena caught up with her today to see what she's all about.
Hi, my name is Lena Dreisbach, and I'm here with your 67th Youth Governor candidate, one of the 5, Lena Cavanaugh. So first, I wanted to ask you, what's your platform? What do you plan to accomplish if you are elected Youth Governor?
So philosophically speaking, my platform revolves around the idea of argument for the sake of truth as opposed to argument for the sake of party lines or personal gain, as we often see in our real government. And so my platform for youth in government mostly revolves around how to facilitate the best discussion we can possibly have in our program. So that comes down to 3 essential points, which are communication, transparency, and a paradigm shift in the voting culture.
Okay, so how do you think that your campaign and your platform set you apart from the other candidates?
So my platform, I think, is different from the other candidates and sets me apart from the other candidates in that it begins sort of, on the philosophical note, which is bringing argument back to its roots. I want to be challenged by people. As a leader, that's something that I value because you can't effectively lead people when you're not asking for their input.
So why did you decide to run?
God, I would have to say I initially started thinking about the decision my freshman year spring conference. It was really the first time that I felt comfortable speaking in front of groups of people, and I received this amazing support, and it occurred to me that I can be the change that I want to see in this program. I have that capability within me, and then from there it was just a matter of identifying the changes that I wanted to see and putting them together in a concise platform.
All right, so now moving on to some more personal, fun questions. What do you like to do? And I don't want to say free time, but what do you do? What's your passion? What do you do outside of Youth and Gov? You're not allowed to use Youth and Gov as an example.
Well, youth and government is a great passion of mine, but I like to focus, my extracurriculars more towards the arts. So my dad's an artist. I do a lot of painting at his studio, a lot of cartoonistic doodles and video editing, which I think is great. And it's fun for me to be able to focus on that aspect of my life, which is sort of neglected in school.
All right, so if you couldn't major in political science or you couldn't go into politics, what do you think would you choose as your career choice?
Marine biology.
Really?
Yeah, people are always shocked when I say that, but I think that, the state of our world as it is, there's a lot of possibility in the changes that can be made in that field, and I've always felt very strongly towards the sciences, so if I could combine the two into scientific activism, that would be great, but I don't know if that's skirting the question a bit.
Just a bit. This has been Lena Dreisbach for Why Witness News.
Democracy, no to GPP.
This protest has sparked a lot of controversy outside of the convention center, and they're influencing others with their ideas.
The Trans-Pacific Partnership is a treaty. It says it's a trade treaty, but in fact, it also turns the power of taxpayers and voters like ourselves over to corporations. It undermines our right to create environmental laws here in the United States, food safety laws. It undermines our right to make rules about the internet access.
I think it's a very interesting show of the First Amendment. I think it's very important. I think these are some really great intellectuals, and I think we should really listen to what they have to say.
It's very important because you guys are the future. And if we're as older people out here knowing these things that are going on for your future, we want you to wake up to it because you guys are the next leaders in our government.
These protesters are known as the Raging Grannies and are protesting outside of the Sacramento Convention Center, and they're trying to influence others with their ideas about TPP.
And that concludes this evening's broadcast. I'm Jesse Zand.
And I'm Saraba Dude.
Stay classy, Sacramento.
Good yard.